Normally, he would have a few very close friends coming over uh, for a drink, and his drink time was always 7 o'clock sharp. Didn't like anybody who was late. And 8 o'clock, everybody would go, and only the immediate family would be left behind to have a bite. We did differ. On politics, we differed. My sister also differed when the emergency took place. And he was very close to Indira Gandhi and also Sanjay Gandhi. He supported Indira Gandhi on that. He was critical of Jay Prakash Narayan. Neither my sister nor I really were supporting the emergency. So there were major differences then. He wasn't a religious man himself, but he was, I think, very upset that I had decided to, cut my hair and not keep a turban. And he was very attached to the symbols of Sikhism. I'm very much against it. Personally, I feel that it was a foolish move, and it put a lot of people to inconvenience, and I don't think it was thought out properly. See, my father was not a very financially savvy person. I don't think he would have had much of a view on it. He was a very straight, honest man, basically. But I think if it had been told to him that this is something which is going to make the country more honest, he would have said, okay, let's give it a try. I think he would have opposed that, and I oppose it too. I think it's a silly thing, So I think this is tokenism. He and I would totally agree that this was again wrong, absolutely wrong. He was a great believer, and so am I, but he was a great believer that we must have closer ties with Pakistan. And we have a Lit Fest in Kasauli, which is named after him, Khushwant Singh Lit Fest. And we've made it a point to try and get as many Pakistani writers over. M.J. Akbar was one of my dad's proteges. He became a well-known journalist working under my father. It was his first job. My dad would have been very critical of this, joining the BJP. He would have told him on his face also. I'm also disappointed because MJ is a good friend of mine also. But we haven't met after he joined the BJP. I think Samuel Johnson once said that patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. So this anti-national business is, I think we're all nationalists. All of us who live in India, who love India, who enjoy being here, are all nationalists. There's no need for us to shout our nationalism, and usually this anti-national tag is put on people who come from minority communities. Usually it's put there, and that is something which my dad did not like at all. I think he would have differentiated between the Pakistan government and the rogue elements in the Pakistan army, as I would also. I don't believe the Pakistan government themselves are doing these attacks. I think there were elements in the army which planned that attack. I don't think the Pakistan government itself was aware of it. I might be wrong, he might have been wrong also on these things, but if you're keen to have good ties between you should give them the best benefit of the doubt. The surgical strikes that the Indian government, fine, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a kind of feeling in the country that don't criticize the army, don't take whatever they say and don't even question it. That's the kind of feeling that you've got. You're being anti-national if you question the army or anything they do. I think we as journalists must question these things. They might be right in what they're saying, but one must always question it. Not to question it is being, to me, is anti-national, not to question it. Job of a journalist of a news channel is to be objective on these matters. No matter how bad the situation, they have to be objective. They're whipping up a feeling of animosity towards Pakistan. I'm totally against that. We have to try and live in amity. You can't push the Pakistanis to become more and more extreme. We are the bigger country. We should behave in a little more responsible and mature fashion. We don't do that. It doesn't become just anti-Pakistani, it becomes anti-Muslim, and that's really dangerous. It becomes anti-Muslim. My dad was totally secular. Anybody from Pakistan was welcome to the house. I think it goes against the whole ethos of America. Trump, he would have not really approved of Trump. He would have been pro-Hillary Clinton. I think he would have regretted that statement he made, because later on he also said, he was asked about the emergency when it was all over. He said that in the beginning he supported it, but then later on when Mr. Gandhi started, and Sanjay Gandhi started taking very extreme steps, he was against it. I think that went against his grain. People used to write abusive letters to him, calling him anti-national, bad Indian, all that kind of stuff. And he got one letter which was an abusive letter, but on the envelope was written, Khushwant Singh, bastard, India. And it was delivered to him. And he used to tell all his friends, look how well I'm known, and this letter was actually delivered to me.